Hey guys, what you're about to watch is another episode of STVCastle Chess. But before I get into the review of this upcoming chess game that I played, I just want to make a little mini announcement here concerning STVCastle Chess. I've noticed lately, every time that I've posted videos on STVCastle Chess, there has always been at least one person disliking the video. Now, for those of you out there, outside just looking in, um, watching these videos on STV Castle Chess, and you come away not being impressed by what I'm doing, for those of you out there that just don't like the way that I play chess, if that's you, then how about this? I'm just going to say it right now. How about this? How about you challenge me to a game of chess if you don't like what I'm doing on the chessboard? Instead of randomly disliking the video, how about you play a game of chess against me straight up online? I will put down the links to the chess websites that I play games on, and you can challenge me there. The following chess websites that I do play on would be the following: leechess.org, chess.com, and ChessBase. I will provide the links to those chess websites below. You can join one of them, and then you can challenge me to a game. For those of you that are basically borderline haters at this point about the way that I play chess, okay, basically put your money where your mouth is. You don't like how I play chess? Challenge me. And then guess what? After I beat you in that game, maybe I can review that game too. Just putting it out there. Why not? Okay, here we go. Welcome back to episode 8 of STV Castle Chess. And no, I'm not going to be presenting this game by way of using that demonstration board that's behind me. I'm going to take a break from that for the time being. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, do it that way. And I'm just going to share with you guys a quick game that I played against this guy named ludovicus. I think that's his name. Um, and don't adjust your screens. This is a new chess website that I'm using to play games. I'm still playing games on other websites like leechess.org and chess.com, for example. But yeah, this is chessbase.com. This is a website I just found out about not too long ago. It's a good chess website. I think it's very serviceable. So you should check it out when you guys have the time. Anyway, I'm going to explain this game right off the bat here. This is a King's Gambit opening game, and very straightforward. And it's just when you're playing a Gambit, guys, you have to make sure that you play for position. If you're going to sacrifice pieces, you have to obtain more position on the board. Um, and most times, when players play gambits, they're able to do it. You sacrifice material so that you can gain an edge in the position on the board. That's why they do it. So here with the King's Gambit, it's one of the most basic gambits you can pull off in a game of chess. And I'm going to show you guys how I play it here in this game against Ludovicus. This is a 5-minute game, so I had a little bit more time compared to the other 3-minute games I've been playing. So yeah, let's just get started. I have the white pieces, Ludovicus, he has the black pieces. As you see on your screen, let's get right to it. I play e4, he plays e5, and I go f4. This is the King's Gambit opening. It's up to my opponent whether or not he wants to accept the Gambit offer. You don't always have to accept the Gambit, even even if it's right there. If you wish to decline the gambit, you can play anything else. You can play, like, for example, knight c6, or another pawn move, d6, what have you. So e4, e5, f4, he does accept the gambit. So e takes f4. Most likely I play knight f3, and I believe that's the right move to make right after your opponent accepts the gambit. Because if you were to play d4, for example, you find yourself in a lot of trouble because your opponent can swing out his queen right out h4 with the check, and then you have to defend that, and then all of your pieces get broken up. It's not good. So just a common tip here that I'm going to give you guys: when your opponent accepts the gambit, just play knight f3. That's my best advice there. So e4, e5, f4, e takes f4, knight f3. My opponent plays g5. He's attempting to protect the pawn, because that is what you do after your opponent takes the pawn on f4. You have to attack it, in my opinion. I play d4, opening up my dark square bishop. Bishop g7. My opponent plays, he's going after this pawn on d4. I play e5, advancing my pawn. Ludovicus plays h6 on his next move. Bishop c4, get my light square bishop out of the way so I can free up my king. Knight e7. I play c3, just to protect my pawn on d4. And then castle, castle. So both of us had the same idea of castling. So next move, d5. Ludovicus swings his pawn out to d5 to attack my bishop. I drop my bishop back to bishop b3. Bishop f5. He's now attacking my knight here. I don't let him get the knight, so I move it from b1 to d2. Pawn c6, pawn c4. I'm attacking his pawn on d5. Bishop d3, he's attacking my rook. Rook f2. Now, keep in mind here some of the action that's going to get going here. As you see, his bishop's planted right here on d3. He thinks he's very comfortable here. I could already sense this. He's attacking my rook, move my rook out of the way. He's trying to get something going here where he's attacking my pawn on c4. Now the next move, knight f5. Now he's going to the center. I advance my pawn up to g4. I'm wasting no time. I'm not going to allow his knight to get any momentum. Knight e3. I anticipated this move being his response. Queen e1. Move my queen out of danger. Attacking the knight. Knight takes pawn. g4. Yes, you're probably going to see that this was like maybe a blunder on my part. And as I title this video, not my best game, I'm going to explain why in a moment. Rook g2, attacking the knight. Knight goes back to e3, attacking the rook. Now here's where the fun begins. Rook takes pawn, g5. Yes, a rook sacrifice. H takes g5. Now, you guys are probably wondering, okay, why did you do that, Stephen? Well, it's pretty obvious because my opponent is just too focused on moving his bishop and knight around. He's not getting any of his other pieces developed, whereas I know where I'm going with my pieces. C takes d5, C takes d5, h4. I have a plan in place. You don't just sacrifice a piece without having a plan. I had a plan, guys. g4, he's getting confident that he can just move up. Knight g5. That was rated as a good move, as you can see by the exclamation mark. Knight c2. That's a fork, but I'm not worried. Bishop captures knight on c2. That's another exclamation mark, so it's a good move. Bishop takes bishop c2. Queen moves up to c2. Knight c6, he's attacking that pawn on d4. But I disregard that. Queen takes pawn g4. As you can clearly see now, what's developing here, the knight, the pawn, the queen, and within time, the knight and the bishop are going to get going. Do you see the exclamation marks besides the last few moves that I've made? These are not bad moves, guys. Pay attention. Knight takes pawn on d4. King gets out of the way. King h1. Queen e7. Knight d to f3. So I get my other knight going. So you see what's going on here? You have a cluster of pieces moving. And I want to make a clear point here before anyone says anything. My opponent was facing a lot of time trouble as of this move. Yes, he had the advantage when it comes to trading off pieces, but he had very little time. I believe, from what I remember in this game, he had like under 20 seconds left when he was making these last moves. So he didn't have a lot of time to think. I knew that. And I'm going to get to a basic point explaining this in a minute, why I was not worried to make any of these moves. Knight d to f3. Knight takes knight f3. Knight takes knight f3. And then the last move of the game for him, ludovicus, bishop to e4, attacking my knight. Bishop takes pawn, f4, another exclamation mark. And as you'll see here on the notations, he ran out of time. So as you guys can clearly see, he ran out of time. He may have had the advantage in exchanging material. But the thing is here with this bishop that was right in front of the king, he was pinned anyway. So I knew that. So you would think that he would move his king out of the way, but my queen is right here. So really, he was not in that much of an advantageous spot when you really think about it. And that's the thing about chess. When you're dealing with time trouble, you don't have a lot of time to think. And I just think that you can be more free in your thinking when you know that your opponent is having time trouble, and you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive than you usually would. And that was the case here. I will freely admit to you guys that this is not my best game at all. I freely admit that. But I'm also saying this, guys, you have to pay attention to the moves here. You have to pay attention to the moves that were being played in this game. Like what I just did here, my last move here. Move 26, bishop takes pawn f4. What did that do? That freed up the rook here. So if we both had enough time to play out this game, like let's say we had like 1 more minute to go, I guarantee you guys I would have swung my rook out to further attack this bishop. And the king, he's in a lot of trouble here. So just connect the dots here. What would have happened had we had 1 more minute to go in the game? I hope you guys can see that. So yeah, there you go. Not my best game, but guess what? It ended up being a win for me. So a win is a win. Got to take it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Pretty straightforward, more of a quick review on my part. So hope you guys got something out of it, and please like what I do, even if you guys are not all that interested in chess. Anything that would support me in this channel would go a long way. And as I said before, if you guys are interested in playing a game against me, I've already listed the chess websites below in the description box, so you guys can join one of those websites and challenge me to a game. Uh, this goes out for all of you guys who do support me, and for those of you guys who are just like, whatever, Steven doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to chess. Yes, I do, just so you know. Anyway, this is STVCastle Chess, and I'm going to come back with more reviews of chess games, whether people like it or not. Take care.